Aloha and welcome. In this segment, we will learn how to do meal planning with diabetes. We will help you learn how to navigate the grocery store and how to select the best food options for your health when you are dining out. It all starts with a plan. Planning is a very important step in your diabetes management and weight loss. Before you start planning the shopping trip and making a list, decide what you and your family are going to eat for the week. Write down a meal plan for breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and don't forget to include snacks and beverages. Write down your meal ideas or meal plans. Consider working with the same group of ingredients for the week to help you save money and reduce food waste. This does not mean that you are stuck with eating the same foods every day. Let's review counting carbohydrates with some meal samples. This will help you when you're trying to decide what to eat and will improve your carb counting skills. Let's start with breakfast. This first meal is something easy to put together that is quite popular with a lot of people. This breakfast consists of 1 orange, 1 piece of toast with jam, 1 egg, and 1 cup of coffee. Let's break it down and count the carbohydrates. You can find the carbohydrate counting food list in the supplemental materials. Keep in mind that the grams for each item are only an approximate amount and can vary depending on the size, type, brand, or variation. In this breakfast, 1 orange is approximately 15 grams of carbohydrates or 1 carb choice. 1 slice of whole grain bread is approximately 15 grams of carbohydrates or 1 carb choice. If you put 1 tablespoon of jam on it, and it is the regular jam, it will cost you 15 grams of carbohydrate or 1 carb choice. If you pick sugar-free jam for the same amount, it will cost you only 5 grams of carb, which will be free and we will not add it to the carb choices. The egg is free because it is not a carbohydrate. If you drink your coffee black or you add sugar-free sweetener, this is going to be free. If you add sugar, each teaspoon of sugar adds another 4 grams of carbohydrate. This meal adds up to 30 grams of carbohydrates or 2 carb choices for the sugar-free jam version, or 45 grams of carbohydrates, which is 3 carb choices if you decide to go with the regular jam version. Breakfast choice number 2 consists of 1 cup of oatmeal, half a banana, 1 ounce of almonds, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. It is important to mention that the 1 cup of oatmeal is already cooked. It gives you 30 grams of carbohydrates or 2 carb choices. The half a banana contains about 15 grams of carbohydrates or 1 carb choice. The almonds are not a carbohydrate, so they're free. The 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk is about 2 grams of carbohydrates, which is free. This meal is about 45 grams of carbohydrates in total. Next, let's explore some lunch options. For the first example, we have a small sandwich with a garden salad and an apple. Let's break it down. We have 2 slices of whole grain bread, which is about 30 grams of carbohydrates or 2 carb choices, 2 ounces of meat, chicken or fish, or a plant-based option, which has no carbohydrates, 2 teaspoons of mayonnaise, no carbohydrate, this is a fat. Next, we'll add lettuce and tomato, which is no carbohydrate. Add a side salad with light dressing, no carbohydrates, and a small apple with approximately 15 grams of carbohydrates or 1 carb choice. This meal adds up to about 45 grams of carbohydrates or 3 carb choices. Next, let's choose another version, stir fry. We'll start with 1 cup of cooked white or brown rice, which is about 45 grams of carbohydrate or 3 carb choices. 1 cup of broccoli, green beans, or another non-starchy vegetable, which is about 6 grams of carbohydrate, and we will count it as free. If you choose to go with mixed vegetables with corn and peas, keep in mind that 1 cup will be about 20 grams of carbohydrates. Next, add 3 ounces of chicken or fish or a plant-based option, which does not contain carbohydrates, and soy sauce, which does not contain carbohydrates. The total for this meal would be 45 to 50 grams of carbohydrates or around 70 grams if you decide to go with the mixed vegetables that contain corns and peas. Now let's look at some dinner options. Pasta with chicken and vegetables. This meal is very similar to stir fry in terms of carbohydrates. 1 cup of cooked pasta is about 45 grams of carbohydrate or 3 carb choices. A quarter cup of pasta sauce, depending on the type and brand, this will be around 8 grams of carbohydrate. 1 cup of non-starchy vegetables, which is about 7 grams of carbohydrates, and 2 to 3 ounces of chicken. This meal adds up to a total of 60 grams of carbohydrates or 4 carb choices. This amount is too much for a diabetic woman, which means you might need to substitute the sauce or eat less of the pasta. Next dinner option is 1 cup of chili bean soup, 1 piece of toast or a small tortilla, and a small garden salad with dressing. Depending on the type and preparation, 1 cup of chili bean soup is about 25 grams of carbohydrate. 1 piece of toast or a small tortilla, depending on the kind, is about 15 grams of carbohydrates. Add small garden salad with dressing. There are no carbohydrates to count here. This meal is a total of about 40 grams of carbohydrates. Now let's look at grocery shopping. Now on to making the list. Make a list of groceries you will need based on the meals and snacks you have planned. Think about how much of each item you will need. If you are a meat eater, it is a good idea to replace your meat protein with plant-based protein for at least 2 meals per week. You can opt for lentils, beans, tofu, tempeh, or edamame. This way, you will save money, increase your fiber intake, reduce your fat intake, reduce cholesterol, and calories. There are many plant-based recipes and you can experiment with new flavors. Try to do this at least 2 times per week or more if you feel more adventurous. Switching to a more plant-based diet is the best decision you can make for your health and well-being. It is, after all, considered the most optimal way of living. Now that you're ready to go to the store, remember the rules. Number 1, never, never, never shop hungry. Number 2, stick to the list. If it is not on the list, it should not be in the cart. Number 3, walk with purpose and don't mindlessly wander around the store. Go only to the aisles you need. Here are a few tips on how to successfully navigate the store. When you get to the store, start with the outside perimeter. Healthier foods tend to be around the outside aisles of the store. Fruits and vegetables, meats and fish, low-fat milk and yogurt, whole grain breads. Avoid aisles that have tempting foods like ice cream, chips, frozen pizza, cookies, candy, soda, and bakery items. They usually cost more than healthier foods. Buy fruits and vegetables that are in season. They will taste better and are usually less expensive. To save money, look for coupons and sale ads. Stock up on non-perishable food items when on the aisles. Buy bulk items: dried beans, rice, high-fiber cereal, nuts, whole grain pasta. Stay focused and don't get tempted when you're standing by the register. Perhaps talk to the cashier to keep your mind off tempting sweets around the cash register. Now let's look at dining out with diabetes. Many people, with or without diabetes, find dining out very challenging. They're constantly tempted with foods they're actively trying to avoid or feel extremely guilty right after the meal. Let's look at some strategies that can help you successfully navigate social gatherings and dining out occasions. Before going out to eat, make sure you're hydrated and grab a small snack before you go. This way, you won't be overly hungry. A small snack and water will help prevent overeating. When dining out, carefully evaluate the menus. Pay attention to the item description and ingredients. Avoid the following terms when you see them on the menu: au gratin, breaded, buttered or buttery, cheese sauce, creamed, creamy, cream sauce, fried, deep fried, French fried, pan fried, battered, gravy, southern style, crunchy, crispy, loaded, pastry, rich, smothered. Order better options and look for the following terms: baked, broiled, boiled, grilled, poached, roasted, steamed, stir-fried, blackened, fresh, light. Here are a few extra tips to trim the fat. Be cautious of sauces. They can be highly caloric, fatty, and quite high in sodium. If your meal comes with a sauce, Ask the waiter to put the sauce in a separate little bowl on the side. That way, you can control the amount you use. Do the same with salad dressings. Restaurant salads are generally drenched in dressing. To help you control the number of calories and fats, ask for the dressing to be served on the side. You can see exactly how much you're putting in your salad. Choose vinaigrettes rather than creamy dressings. Before you order, think about what you really need to eat. Once you start eating your meal, eat it slowly and stop periodically to assess how full you feel. Remember that it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register the food that you have consumed. If you eat too fast, you're running the risk of overeating. If you're ordering meat, trim the fat off the meat and take the skin off the chicken. Understand and use negative preloading. Think of it as ordering a very specific appetizer. This could be a simple green salad, a broth-based soup, or a small piece of fruit. People who have a green salad with low-fat vinaigrette or a broth-based soup before the main course tend to eat 10% fewer calories at their meal. Eating out can be challenging if you're trying to eat healthy. However, it can be done. It just requires some planning, careful choices, and a few adjustments. Plan ahead. Look at the restaurant menu online to pre-select a healthy choice or ask to see the nutrition information at the restaurant. Scope out healthy options as soon as you open the menu. Many restaurants offer a healthy or light section of the menu. Order from this section of the menu as much as possible. Choose veggies as side dishes. Ask for larger portions of veggies and smaller portions of starchy foods. It is okay to make adjustments. Most chefs would be happy to make the necessary changes. Keep foods off the table that you do not want to eat, like breads or chips. If you know that the restaurant offers breadsticks or chips and constantly refills the basket, you can ask the waiter not to bring those out so you won't be tempted. Get a to-go box and put half of your meal in the box before you even start to eat. Another trick is to share your meal with friends and family, especially for more indulgent foods like desserts or unhealthy entrees and appetizers. While making these positive choices, remember that changes might be difficult, but the results will be worth it. Mahalo and aloha.